Insecurities feed on comparison. Hey lovelies! If this is your first time, my name is Popsann Francis and I'm the founder of Women Healing Together. Thank you so much for stopping by today. This is the channel where we deal with all things women and I help women to achieve the 4 E's. Here they are. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Alright, so today we are going to be talking about or insecurities. Let's begin. Don't we all have things that we're not very confident about? Those things that we're very sensitive about, those things that we really don't want to talk about because we feel exposed, right? Those are our insecurities. We all have them. Every human being, I believe, has insecurities. It doesn't matter how confident we look, we all have them. Whether they are stem from childhood, whether they have stemmed from adulthood, and insecurities doesn't have to mean things that are physical, right? So I know a lot of women have insecurities concerning different parts of their bodies, but we also have emotional, mental, spiritual insecurities. So we're going to talk about them today, how they come about, and how we could really know what they feed on so we can mitigate. Number one, insecurities are exaggerated. Insecurities make themselves seem larger than they really are. Yeah, highly exaggerated, and we feed into that. Oh, I'm the worst of this, or I have the worst this, or this is the worstest thing ever, or I have the least amount of. They always exaggerate. They're in the superlative all the time, right? So, in primary school, we learn about positive, comparative, and superlative. They present themselves as superlative, which is not true. They exaggerate themselves, and it's not true, because they want to make us feel isolated, but we'll get to that. Next point is that our insecurities present themselves as not having a solution. So we feel trapped. There's no way this is going to change. I'm insecure because I don't feel enough. I'm insecure because of, oh, my breasts are too large or they are too big. I feel insecure because my hair is too nappy or it's too curly. I feel insecure because of whatever. They present themselves as if there is no solution, but there is. And you may say to me, Popsann, how can there be a solution to the color of my skin? Are you saying I should bleach my skin? No, that's not what I'm saying. Most times, if not all the times, the fix is not something that you do. It is something that you become. It is who you become. Change of perspective. So here's an example. Growing up, I hated my hair. I hated the texture. It was short and I did not like it. I was very insecure about my hair. Okay, and my hair type has not changed. It's still the same hair type, but my perspective changed because I learned how to take care of my hair. I started researching. I started learning more, even though I've always been a student of history, but I started taking pride in my African descent. I started watching documentaries about my lineage and how powerful we are, and change the perspective from the slave mentality coming to the West. But what were we like before that? And when I changed that perspective, I started to have pride in myself as someone from African descent. And that manifested itself a lot in my hair. So now I love my hair, not because my hair has changed, it's still the same thing, but I've learned how to take pride in myself, and I've learned how to take care of my hair. And now it's growing. Yes. Let's go to the next point. The next thing that insecurity does is that it makes you feel isolated. It breathes this note and this message. You are alone. Nobody understands. Don't share. You will be judged. They won't get it. That is such a big, fat lie. The Bible tells us that there is nothing new under the sun. So whatever insecurities you're experiencing, mark you, I may not have had the exact experience, and I don't think anybody has like the same exact experience in the world, because there are different factors that, that are involved in everybody's life. But there will be someone who understands to a very large degree what you are experiencing. When we feel insecurity, it isolates us from others. We don't want to share. We don't want to make ourselves vulnerable. And that's when the exaggeration comes in, because we sink deeper and deeper and deeper into the bottomless pit of insecurity. You are not alone. And that's one of the reasons I actually founded Women Healing Together. So you can know that you are healing with me and I with you, and we are healing together. The other thing that I've realized with insecurity, because again we all struggle with forms of insecurity, is that there's a preoccupation that we're going to be exposed. There's a preoccupation that everybody sees what my insecurities are, and it is not true. It's just not true. Okay? So at the same time, though insecurity wants to isolate you, it causes shame by allowing you to feel that everybody can see how I feel on the inside. And what does that result in? It results in us putting up a facade and not being our genuine selves. Why? We don't want everybody to know. We don't want everybody to see. We don't want everybody to hear. They're hearing and they're seeing, and I have to stop it. So I'm going to put on a brighter smile, or I'm going to dress a particular way, or I'm going to present myself as a particular way so people don't see who I really am. And as women, I found that there are two extremes that people can go. One, there are some women who put on a very terse, a very rough persona to block people out. But when you get to know them, they are the sweetest angels ever. And that is because they feel that people are going to take advantage of them. The other side of the paradigm, the other side of the coin, is that there are women who are people pleasers. They say yes to everything. They say yes to all the things. Again, that is a facade, because we want to protect ourselves, because everybody is seeing what my insecurities are. Have you ever asked yourself, where does my insecurity come from? Where does it come from? Why do I feel the way I feel about my hair texture? Why do I feel the way I feel about my skin? Why do I feel the way I feel about my relationship? Why do I feel the way I feel about my reproductive health, not having a child, things like those? Why do I feel the way why do I feel inadequate? Why do I feel insufficient? Have you ever paused to ask yourself, what is the catalyst of this insecurity? They are birthed from woundedness. Someone suggested something. Someone said something. And most of the times, this wound, this suggestion, this insinuation came when we were children. And we listened. We accepted it. And now it has borne fruit in insecurity. This is what I'd suggest to you. Take the time to trace all the way back, whenever it happened, whether in adulthood or in childhood. When someone suggested something, when an advertisement ran across the screen that says, if your hair is long and straight, then you are good enough. If you have a certain pigmentation, then you are good enough. And did you interpret that to mean, if I don't have these things, then I am not good enough? Because if we can trace to the genesis of this insecurity when it was planted, then we are able, as my husband always says, challenge the negative and the unreal perceptions. Channel the lie of those perceptions, okay? And put the work in to ensure that you reverse those negative perceptions in the name and blood of Jesus Christ. And finally, insecurities feed on comparison. That is the food that nourishes it. Because if we feel inadequate in an area, our default many times is to look at someone who we perceive to not be inadequate. We look at others who we perceive to be adequate. But one of the things I can say to you to totally demolish this last point is that every single human being, every single sister, every single woman has her insecurities. You may be strong in one area and I'm weak in that area. And the opposite is also true. So we are leveled in terms of human beings. We are leveled in terms of women. Nobody is strong in all areas of her life. Nobody is weak in all areas of her life. So do not listen to that voice saying to you, oh, you are better than, you are better than, you are less than, because it's just not true. Thank you so much for watching today's video as we spoke about insecurities. What are the things that we can learn about insecurities that really exposes it? Really exposes insecurity for what it is, and that is what we have done today. Share the video because you are not in this alone. You can totally destroy, demolish those insecurities and live free, full, and confident to be the woman, to be the girl whom God has created you to be. And we're working on the things in our lives that are not 100%. After all, nobody is perfect. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to subscribe, hit the all post notification bell, drop a comment, share the video, like the video, and until next time, remember, we heal so much better when we heal together. Bye.